Hello everyone. In previous video, we have learned about acquired immunity and innate immunity. We have also understood the role of acquired and innate immunity. Thereafter, we have also learned about the structure of antibody and importance of antibody. In today's video, we are going to learn about active and passive immunity. There are two types of immunity based on its mode of action. One is active and one is passive. First, active immunity. This active immunity is slow process and takes time to give its full effective response. Because this active immunity has to respond by checking the antigen or by understanding the antigen, its mode of action, then the antibodies will be developed by the body and then the response will be shown. So active immunity is a slow process. The response will not be shown immediately. It takes time and gives full effective response. But the response effect is maximum. Reasons of active immunity generated in the body due to injection of mild natural microbes during immunization or when infectious organism enters the body during natural infection. There are two ways to get ready this active immunity in the body. One is when the microorganisms enter into the body. So naturally, when the entry of microorganism takes place, they are responsible for activating the immunity in the body, and that activating immunity is the active immunity. And one is the immunization. During the microbial immunization in the body, that is one of the way of stimulating the immunity, which is called active immunity. Mechanism of active immunity: microbe enters the body and identified by B and T lymphocyte cells as antigen, and in response to that, body produces antibodies specific to that antigen. So after entry of microorganism, the immunity will be generated by checking the antigen and by the T lymphocyte and B lymphocyte cell, and after that the antibodies will be produced and the response will be shown. Antibodies then act against the pathogen which is producing antigen and provides immune response, which is called active immunity. Second is passive immunity. It is a quick process which shows it doesn't take much time and does not take time to show immune response. It is very instant immediate response shown by the body when it has the passive immunity response. Reasons of passive immunity: it is generated in the body when ready-made antibodies of pathogens are directly injected into the body. If the ready-made antibodies are injected in the body, then the passive immunity will be shown, because when the microorganisms enter, antibodies are readily available in the body, and so they will immediately start their action of fighting against the antigen and making them dead. So ready-made antibodies which are injected, it's actually responsible for showing the passive immunity. The mechanism of passive immunity is when antibodies against the specific antigen, that is pathogen, is directly injected into the bloodstream, body develops immune response against pathogen in the absence of pathogen due to antibodies, and so the immune response is developed. Thus, when the pathogen invades the body, the immune response is quickly shown. Presence of antibody in the body is one of the reason or cause the instant and immediate response which is shown. Since antibodies are directly injected, the cells, that is B lymphocyte cells and T lymphocyte cells, responsible to produce antibodies does not involve, because their role is to, after getting idea from the antigen, they are getting stimulated to synthesize antibodies. But already antibodies are available in the blood, which are injected. So the lymphocyte cells, B lymphocyte cells and T lymphocyte cells, has no role in passive immunity. It's a kind of quick response. For example, colostrum. It is a yellow fluid secreted by mother during initial period of lactation and which has IgA antibody which provides immunity to infant and fetus, also gets some antibodies through the placenta. Now we will learn the next topic, that is vaccination and immunization. Actually, when we are injecting antibodies, there are two practices are followed. One is vaccination and second is immunization. So what these two practices are, that we are going to learn. The principle of vaccination and immunization is common, that is property of memory of the immune system. This principle, they are working, immunization and vaccination are working on this principle. They are responsible for increasing the immunity of the body, or it is a property of memory of the immune system. Vaccination, first, vaccination, antigenic proteins of pathogen or activated weakened pathogen, they are called vaccine, are introduced into the body. The antibodies produced in the body against these antigen would neutralize the pathogenic agents during actual infection. So they are responsible for neutralizing the antigen when they are actually entering into the body. The vaccines also generate memory for B and T lymphocyte cells that recognize the pathogen quickly on subsequent exposure and overwhelm the invaders with a massive production of antibodies. So they are also responsible, vaccines are also responsible for uh, providing memory to B and T lymphocyte cells, so that next time whenever the same microorganism or pathogen enters into the body and they generate the antigen, will be responsible for generating massive antibodies. Massive antibodies means maximum number of antibodies in the body, so that there will be extensive or extreme response of the immunity will be given for fighting against the antigen and keeping the body safe. Recombinant DNA technology is responsible for or helping for producing vaccination or producing vaccines. Antigenic polypeptides of pathogens are produced in bacteria or yeast cell, and they will be developed through the recombinant DNA technology. This recombinant DNA technology is nothing but the artificial growth of the genetic material in laboratories. By collecting from living organisms cell, the DNA will be multiplied in laboratories to produce number of copies, the genetic materials maximum copies. This is called recombinant DNA technology. This recombinant DNA technology is helping in producing vaccine. Vaccines produced using this approach allow large scale production and hence greater availability of immunization. Example, hepatitis B vaccine produced from yeast cell. This is one of the example which is also developed based on the recombinant DNA technology. Like this, there are many more at present produced through the recombinant DNA technology, which is helping mankind for getting protection against several diseases. Second practice is immunization. Immunization is the process whereby a person is made immune or resistant to an infectious disease, typically by the administration of a vaccine. Vaccines stimulate the body's own immune system to protect the person against subsequent infection of disease. So immunization is nothing but the process of injecting the antigen in the body and developing the immunity of the body through the vaccination. There are two types of immunization, active immunization and passive immunization again. Active immunization, it is a slow immune response infected from mild doses of dead pre-treated live microbe. So in this process, the injections will be having the mild dose of the dead organisms or the pre-treated live organisms. So they will be injected in the body, and they are only serving as antidotes of the same microorganisms when they are getting actually entry into the body. Example, measles, mumps and rubella. These are the diseases in which this kind of active immunization is having successful result. Second is passive immunization. It is a quick immune response shown in this practice. Direct injection of preformed antibodies. For example, tetanus, it is also known as TT, or antitoxin, a preparation containing antibodies to the toxin. Example, snake bite. So antidose of snake bite or the poison released by the snake is the same, which is injected in the form of vaccine into the body. So antidose of the toxin is injected, which is called passive immunization. Snake bites, the injection which is given to the patient contain preformed antibodies against the snake venom, and it is a kind of practice included in the passive immunization. Next point is allergies. You can find around yourself, or you may be suffering from any kind of allergy. There may be different types of allergies. Some are having allergies of dust, some are having allergy of pollen grain. That means this pollen grain, which are also very small minute bodies present in the air, when we inhale this pollen grain, we develop the allergy about inhalation of them. We start sneezing. That is the process which is because of the entry of the pollen grain or the dust particle into the body, and the nasal tract will start, or the respiratory tract will start showing the sneezing practice against this entry, and will be a kind of allergy symptom. So there will be different kind of symptoms in different kind of allergies. You can find allergy of different insect or some food items also. Allergies are seen. Some are having allergies of some oils, some are having allergies of milk, proteins. So if prior it is not known, the allergies are not known, after consuming, the patient will start showing different type of symptoms like vomiting. The allergies will be showing the skin rashes, itching on of the skin. So this kind of allergy symptoms we can see in the various cases. So allergy is a hypersensitivity disorder of the immune system in which the exaggerated response of immune takes place to certain antigens present in the environment. Substances which induce allergy are called allergen. So mites in dust, pollens, animal dander, these are the some example in which we can say they are the allergens, which when get introduced into the body will start showing certain hypersensitive action or a kind of action which is non-relevant to the normal body function. Antibodies produced like IgE type is a kind of allergen action which is showing allergy action. So when a person is developing allergy, that means sensitivity or hypersensitivity, that is the action of this antibody which is called IgE. Symptoms: sneezing, watery eyes, running nose, and difficulty in breathing. These are the symptoms of allergy action. Reason: releasing release of chemicals like histamine and serotonin from the mast cell. And when this histamine and serotonin chemicals will be released from the mast cell, they are probably responsible for showing the hypersensitivity towards a certain thing in the body. Diagnosis: injecting small doses of possible allergens and reactions are observed. For this, to find the allergy, there should be deliberately some allergens will be introduced into the body, and when the actions will be seen or the symptoms will be developed, then we can diagnose the person is having allergy of particular thing. Drugs: antihistamine, adrenaline and steroids quickly reduce the symptom of allergy. So antihistamine and adrenaline and steroids are the drugs available which will reduce the symptom of allergies. Protected environment: lowering immunity, thus more and more people are now sensitive to the allergens. The main reason is protective environment. So previously people used to live openly anywhere. That means they used to get exposed to number of things, and due to which they were not having allergies in so far cases. But nowadays we are living in most protective environment. So maximum we are trying to keep our body safe. We are maximum getting protected around ourselves, remaining in hygienic places. This is one of the cause we can say for developing allergies when we get exposed suddenly to the allergens, because for so many years we are not exposed to the allergens, and suddenly if we get exposed to the allergens, the kind of symptoms will be developed by allergens to show the allergy. Autoimmunity. Autoimmunity is the failure of an organism in recognizing its own constituent parts of as self, thus leading to an immune response against its own cell and tissue. In this autoimmunity, the our own body cell will be failing in identifying our own other cells or the particles present or produced by the body, and due to which it is observed that the autoimmunity is developed, means a kind of action mechanism, fighting mechanism against our own cell, other cell. So this is how the autoimmunity is developed. Higher vertebrae, higher vertebrates, having some example like if, pathogens. Higher vertebrates evolved and developed its ability to differentiate foreign organisms, for example pathogens or molecules, from self cells. But sometimes due to genetic or other unknown reason, body attacks self cells, autoimmune disease will be developed. For example, rheumatoid arthritis. It is the example of autoimmune response, and it is a kind of disease called autoimmune disease. Immune system in body. Uh, in our body, immune system is present like other system, like respiratory system, digestive system. Our body has immune system. It is a system of biological structure and processes within an organism which protects organism against any diseases, and also helps to identify self from non-self and remember them. So once non-self pathogens and particles will be identified, they are capable of remembering them. So again and again if they enters into the body, every time the action mechanism will be shown, that is immunity will be developed. Structures associated with immune system. There are different structures which are associated with immune system. One is lymphoid organ, second is tissues and cells, and third is antibodies. there are mostly soluble antibodies. Unique as it recognizes foreign antigens, responds to these and remembers them. The functions of immune system in body is they are playing important role in allergic action, autoimmune diseases and organ transplantation. Lymphoid organs. The organs which are originated or getting mature and proliferation of the lymphocyte occur. So the organ where origin and differentiation of the lymphocytes will be taking place, they are called lymphoid organs. These lymphoid organs of two types. One is primary lymphoid organ and second is a secondary lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organ, it is the origin and maturation and proliferation of immune cell takes place in the same part, that is bone marrow and thymus are the primary lymphoid organs. During proliferation and maturation, immature lymphocyte differentiate into antigen sensitive lymphocytes, and after maturation the lymphocyte migrate to secondary lymphoid organ. Secondary lymphoid organ provides the site for interaction of lymphocytes with the antigen, and then lymphocytes proliferate to become effector cells. Spleen, lymph nodes, tonsils, pairs, patches of small intestine and appendix. These are the secondary lymphoid organs. In this structure or in this slide, the structure is showing primary as well as secondary lymphoid organ. The tonsils, lymph nodes, lymphatic vessels, spleens, pairs, patches of small intestine, appendix. These are the secondary lymphatic organs, and bone marrow as well as thymus. These are the primary lymphatic organ. Function of lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organs, that is bone marrow and thymus, provide microenvironments for development and maturation of T lymphocyte cells. Bone marrow is main lymphoid organ where all blood cells include lymphocytes are produced. So bone marrow is the place where all the blood cells are also getting synthesized as well as the lymphocytes are also getting produced. Thymus is a lobed organ located near the heart and beneath the breastbone. Large at the time of the birth but keeps reducing in size with age, and by the time puberty is attained it reduces to very small size. So from the birth it is in large size, but as we grow the development of body takes place, simultaneously it is getting shrink in the size or reduce in the size. Spleen, it's a secondary lymphoid organ. It is a bean shaped and contains lymphocytes and phagocytes. Acts as a filter for the blood by trapping blood borne microorganisms. So whatever microorganisms are present in the blood or develop multiplied in the blood, that will be filtered or trapped by the spleen. So spleen is very important lymphoid organ, secondary lymphoid organ, which is responsible for trapping all the microorganisms which are born in the blood. Spleen also has a large reservoir of erythrocyte. So reservoir means storage. So spleen is keeping stock of erythrocyte. Erythrocyte means RBC cells. So maximum RBC cells which are produced by bone marrows will be getting stored into the spleen. So spleen is very important lymphatic organ of the body. Lymph nodes, it's again secondary lymphatic organ. Small solid structures located at different points along the lymphatic system trap the microorganisms antigen which enters a lymph and tissue fluid and activates lymphocytes, causing immune response. So lymph nodes are having important role for immune response. Lymphoid tissue, they are present in the lines at the major tract like respiratory tract, digestive tract, urinary tract. So in those all tracts lining, these lymphoid tissues are present, called mucosal associated lymphoid tissue, and it in short it is also called as MALT, and are 50% of the lymphoid tissue in the human body. So this is all about the lymphatic organ and their structure as well as function. Remaining points of this chapter we will learn in next video. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye.